Hi y'all, we're back with SoSoMarried. I'm Deidre.
I'm Charles Ashley.
Just put all your business out there.
Hey,
Okay, so
from
on,
America's sweetest town, Clewiston, Florida.
you want to give me your social security number?
Hey, why not?
Anyways, so on SoSoBlessed channel, I was telling y'all how I've been acting. So when my husband says I've been acting like what?
Backslider.
A backslider. So we're gonna. A lot of people say that they're looking forward to hearing the rest of the story. So we're gonna delve a little bit into that. How I've been acting like a backslider, as he says, which I disagree with, but I have been acting up a little bit, and why? We'll get deeper into that. So, do you want to start with how I've been
You
acting
go
up?
ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. I've been acting like Christ, loving her like Christ loved the church, just like God. The reason I said backslider is because God said He married the backslider, and that's how she been acting.
But maybe what have I been doing to act like a backslider?
Oh, go ahead. You know what you did.
No, I want to know from your eyes what I do to act like a backslider.
Attitude of where she thinks get paranoid in our marriage, and I'm not one to make our marriage paranoid. She take that upon herself, because I try my best not change, but she get all frantic and I don't know. She just go through these stages.
So you think I get frantic?
Yeah.
Well, I think we have a difference of opinion, but I understand his opinion. I respect his opinion. I can see where he come from. To me, I think frantic is an over exaggeration, but he is right that I do. Okay, let me just give y'all a little bit of background. First of all, I always say that you can't just you can't just live your life according to how you were raised. There's come a time that you're gonna have to break away from that, but how we were raised is a very integral part of our adulthood. You agree with that?
True.
So,
but you gotta be, but also in that, you gotta be willing to say the bad I'm gonna throw away, the good I'm gonna keep.
Which I try. I do try. I try to do that, but like I say, it's still such an integral part of my being, and it's something you say the war. You war against the spirit. The flesh and the spirit. So is that war. So I war against. That's one of my things that I war against is that that fear in marriage and relationship. Because just to give you a little background, like I said, my dad, his four brothers, Papa and uncles were Rolling Stones, and thank God for change. My dad is different now, but I grew up seeing a lot of stuff. I mean, I grew up with infidelity and just a whole lot of stuff that I grew up with, and that distrust of men. Not to mention having a mom who, I mean, love my mom. I want to put nothing bad out there. She's an awesome person, but I've never heard my mom say a nice thing about a man. Never. I've never heard my mama say anything good about a man. So, except that my daddy was an awesome provider. She will give him that. He's a great provider. And other than that, so I war against that feeling of men will cheat. Men will hurt you. Men will have a great thing going, a great relationship like ours. We have a great relationship, but there's still always that thought in my mind that he's gonna mess it up. He's gonna mess it up. We have a great thing going, and he's gonna mess it up. And I war against that because he doesn't do anything to make me feel that way. If anything, opposite. When I say, when this man says, love me like Christ loved the church, he does not treat me like I treat him. He does not act the way I act. He just, no matter what, he just keep on loving me. And I war against that. And so a lot of times I do recognize it. Sometimes I recognize it and I'll straighten myself up. But sometimes, but just to give you a little background, this particular incident, it just stemmed from nothing. But sometimes when you got stuff pent up in you, sometimes it's the smallest thing that'll set you off. So here it is, my husband has worked. He's come home. He's tired, whatever. He's getting, we talk a little bit, he take a shower, he get in the bed. And then I go to wash some clothes, and I can't find my dryer sheets that I keep on top of the dryer. And our dryer's in the garage, so he had cleaned the garage like the previous day, and he misplaced my dryer sheets. So I come in the room, baby, can you find my dryer sheets? Where are my dryer sheets? Oh, they fell behind some piece of wood. You know, when I was cleaning the garage, I'm like, can you get up and get them, find them for me? And he's like, I'm tired. And I'm so sick of your excuse, I'm tired. So I walked out of the bedroom, and I go back in the garage, and I'm moving this big piece of plywood, and he comes in there to find it for me. And I said, get out of the way, I don't need you. And when I said it, I said to myself, oh my God, I've never, in our 20-something years we've been knowing each other, especially almost 7 years of marriage, I've never said anything like that. Because I know words can hurt. People can say sticks and stones break my bones, words will never hurt. Words hurt. Ladies, remember that. We can say some things out of our mouths that hurt, and words hurt. And then my daughter was around too. I think my daughter had come into the garage to ask me something or whatever. And so she heard me say that. I don't need you. I did not mean that in general. I don't need you in our marriage. I don't need you as a man. I don't need you as my husband. But that is exactly the way it came across. I just meant I don't need you at this moment. I can move this plywood and find it myself since you're so tired. But then my husband and I went in the room, and my husband says, what?
I don't know what I said.
You said something like, you were in the bed, but you're restless and you couldn't sleep, and you said,
oh, I was explaining to her that I was tired, you know, and not only I was tired, I was in pain. My knee was hurting me. I'm not as young as I used to be, but you know, hey. But the thing about it is, where I feel as if, you know, those words that she said, you know, I sucked it up. You know, I said, okay. She said she don't need me, and I was like, well, I'm gonna make a stand there, you know, where I'm still gonna love her like Christ loved the church, but let me get some clarity on this. I don't need you, because if you don't need me, that's why I said she's in the backslider. That's why God said He married the backslider. I said she's in the backsliding stage now, because that's just like some of us with God. You know, we'll get to a point where we feel as though that we don't need God, and so I looked at it like that right there, because I try to love her like Christ loved the church. I try not to change regardless of what she said, what she do, how she act, because the commandment was given to man. It wasn't given to the woman to love. It was given to man to love the woman like Christ loved the church, not the woman to love man like Christ loved the church. Of course, it hurts, you know, but I said, well, this is how she feel at this moment. This is how she feel at this moment. But with me, like she said from the beginning, a lot of that has to do with she carried that into our marriage, and I don't like it, but it's part of her, and she carried those things into our marriage. And ladies, try not to carry the bad into your marriage. Of course, you're gonna carry some, but try not to carry the bad into your marriage. Try not to carry those relationships that's in the past, that you've been hurt, that you've been scorned. Try not to carry that into your next relationship or to your next marriage, because a man, he basically forgets about it and moves on. But when you carry those relationships and doesn't get delivered from them, doesn't get healed from them, it destroys the other relationship, because nobody want to be dealing with nobody else's baggage. I don't want to deal with my wife's baggage. She don't want to deal with my baggage. But the thing about it is, we have to try our best not to carry those things into our relationships that we have. And that's one thing that that's one thing I dislike about my wife. She can get her moves, but I'm like, hey, that's part of her. I look at that. It's not part of me. Problem is not me. Problem is that not that I'm tired. I'm tired. You know, I'm 48 years old, working 14 hours a day, and I come home and I'm tired. I don't say nothing to her when she's home, sleep, resting, or whatever. I don't get up in the morning time asking her, hey, get up, get up, get up, get up. And so I feel as though that she should share the same amount of respect that I have towards her, same amount of respect I have, let's vice versa, you know. And I think that's being unfair, and so I look at it like that.
Well, okay, and I agree with you there. But let me just talk a little bit about share with you all where I started talking about where that fear comes from. Well, it wasn't about the get up right now and find these dryer sheets, or it wasn't about that. It was, I think, because my husband because he is so awesome to me, and we have, thank God, a wonderful relationship. But I think because, like I say, that because of that baggage, because of how I was raised, because of what I've seen in my family, and sometimes that fear does creep in. Is this relationship changing? You know, is my husband changing? And what they say, fear is false evidence appearing real. So that's what it is. It's like, it's false stuff that appears real because he's not changing. He's only getting better and better. But sometimes that false evidence appearing real comes into my mind and says, you know, because I had a lot of walls up before we got married, and his love has just broken down those walls. But then there are some times when I feel like we've been so busy that we're not connecting. We haven't connected with each other, and that's when it comes in. That's when, like, I get like that, is when we haven't connected with each other. We haven't gone to spend time with each other. Then I feel like, is there a disconnection there? You know, we haven't been as connected as I'm used to us being, or I would like for us to be. And then I start getting that fear. Okay, are things changing? You know, is he getting that 7-year itch? Is he still in love? You know, and it's just false evidence because you don't act like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You always loving and kind and reassuring and all of that, but it's just that, you know, it's me, and it's that false evidence appearing real. So that's something that I know I'm aware of that I have to work on. But I apologize. I went in the room. I saw he was restless. And when you said, this is what you said, you make me feel like I'm some lazy man.
Oh.
That what you said. And I was like, and so when he said that, I know I don't want my husband to feel like that, because I know he is far, far from lazy. He is not lazy at all. And so I was like, well, let me go ahead and talk to him, because I definitely don't want him to think that I think he's lazy, and I don't want him to think that I don't need him, because I do. And so I went in the room. I said, you want to talk now? You want to talk, ladies? So let's talk now. So we talked. And I think we had a great communication. Even if he didn't agree with everything I say, if I didn't agree with everything he said, we communicated. And to me, I felt like got a better understanding of where each other was coming from.
Well, you have to have communication regardless how you feel or whatever. But when someone said that to me, and especially when you said, well, I don't need you, you know, like, what the hell? What? She told me she don't need me? I'm like, now I know I'm a catch, but also I know I'm a good catch.
You're an awesome catch, baby.
But what I'm saying, but that like I said, words do hurt, but you have to be able to.
What'd you say? I'm gonna show her somebody want me.
No. That entered my thought process.
Oh.
What entered my thought process was, well, I don't need you. I'm like, okay, well, she wanna go back to being single. She wanna, she feel as though that she can do better by herself, or what, you know? Like, where the hell is all this coming from?
Yeah, no.
And so, you know, now I'm like, well, Lord, you know, what have I done wrong? Let me check myself, because the first person I want to check is myself. I don't want to check her, but I want to check myself. So I checked myself, looked at myself. God, there's something in my life, show me. And I looked at my life from a physical, spiritual, mentally, emotional, financial point, and I said, well, it ain't me. Got to be her.
Yes, it was me.
So you can be honest, as long as you're being honest and real with yourself and examine yourself first. That alone speaks volumes to you. When you honestly can examine yourself and say, well, hey, I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't move. I didn't cause this. You know, this has to do with all her. I can't do it any better. You know, so once you examine yourself, you take it from there.
Yep. So I take on all of that. It was me. It started out just as something simple, but it stemmed from something much bigger going on in my head, and we just have to find a way. Not to mention what I have to work on myself, getting rid of that false evidence appearing real, but also too making a way, as Natural Hairful said in one of the comments, that we have to find a way to stay, stay connected. As Pastor and First Lady, there's so much going on in our lives, so much pulling at us, that we have to be sure that we stay connected.
Now, I agree with what she said, but also I think that sometimes she based us being connected as far as going out, spending quality time, maybe going to the Keys, going to different islands, or whatever. But to me, I love it. I love spending time with my wife because I love it, and she loves doing it, and I love it too. But I don't base that on us being connected. I don't think that a physical place, person, or thing, or noun could. I'm going to base that on being connected, because if we're together and we got a palm tree in the living room, we're connected. So I don't base it on money, finances, personal place or thing. I base it on love that we have towards one another, because I'm not going to let a person, place, or thing define my love, or define how I feel towards you. That to me, we're past that. But don't get me wrong now. I always enjoy our vacation. I always enjoy our getaway. But
it's not just getaway, baby. It's not just getaway. I understand what you're saying, and I love that. That was awesome. But and it's not just a getaway. But what I'm saying is, okay, like say for instance, just give you an idea of a run of a day, or give them. You already know. But okay, like when you get up and go to work in the morning, if I don't have to go to work and we're not going together, then okay, you get up, you kiss me goodbye, and then we might that night we might talk, maybe 20 minutes or so, whatever. And sometimes that's our day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Except you might call, like talk to you once or twice, and then sometimes that can go on for a little bit, or if we are talking, we're on our way to church talking, or we're on our way, So I guess it's just like I said, it's not. Hey, if we were sitting under the palm tree in the living room, that would be great. But what I'm saying is sometimes we're just kind of like two ships, just sailing past each other at times.
But also that comes with responsibility that we have. It comes with responsibility of home, comes responsibility of a church, comes responsibility of ministry. This is what we sacrifice, for the love of God.
I know.
So we have to suck it up and move on.
And you're right.
Just keep it moving.
You're right, baby. I'm learning. Oh Lord, this First Lady thing, Jesus. Oh Lord, y'all pray for me. But I love this man. He is awesome. And when I tell you that this is not just something in front of the camera, this man loves me like Christ truly loves us.
And I'm in love with her, y'all. Y'all take care. We love y'all.
Thank y'all for being a part of SoSoMarried. Hopefully something we have said can bless you, those who are married, those who want to be married. Marriage is a blessing. It's all about communication, keeping God in your marriage.
And that's why I say I'm married to the backslider. See, God didn't leave the backslider.
Am I still in the backsliding state?
No, you're not in the backslider.
I repented.
You repented.
I repented.
All right.
I'm getting it right.
Love y'all. Take care.
Y'all be blessed.
And yes, I'm tired.
Yeah, we just getting home from work. You're so gracious to do this video. Love you, baby.